Let me make all the little adjustments here, per usual. Um, cool. Uh, all right. So anyway, it's Ask Me Anything Wednesday. Hump day. Mike. Mike. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is, Mike? It's hump day. But no, anyway, yeah, so today's Ask Me Anything, which means you can come here with random questions. I don't have a topic for today. Um, just make sure the questions are family friendly, if you please. I would highly like that. Make sure these are family friendly questions. Um, aside from that, whatever. It's not an assigned topic, so we can talk whatever: politics, philosophy, science, whatever. Carlton, what's up? He said, "Salute, just a contrarian in chat." We talk. I think I asked you this before, Carlton, but you said you go to Planet Fitness, right? Do they have free weight stations where you're at? Because um I'm learning that not every Planet Fitness has installed the free weight stations. I think is it's on a gym by gym basis. Like some have them, some don't. Personally, I don't really care because I, I'm not like a serious lifter. Like I lift just as a supplement to my martial arts and running. Um, because strength training makes you a better runner and makes you a better martial artist. But I don't need the free weights. Like is the free weights are good when you're working out with other people. But if I'm working out by myself, I'll be comfortable using a Smith machine to do squats and bench press. And I really don't even need it for the bench press. Like I'll use like I'm comfortable using the Nautilus type equipment. I call it all Nautilus to generically refer to like the machines. But I'm comfortable using that, especially if I'm working out solo. But when I'm working out with a friend, yeah, the Smith the free weight machines are better. Carlin says he's like, go to a small chain gym on the Planet Fitness gyms I've been to did not have free weights. Yeah, it just started. uh, I've just noticed it this year. Like when I literally like I took a whole year off from Planet Fitness, and when I returned in January, there were free weight machines. I mean, free weight stations. But and, a lot of people was like, "Oh yeah, it feels like a real gym now." um, Surprisingly, they don't hog up the free weight stations the way they used to hog up the Smith machines. Like before they had the free weight stations, everyone was hogging the Smith machines, like trying to press or squat or deadlift. But I think maybe because you have some people who still prefer the Smith machines, whereas some people prefer the free weight machines. So now I think it's less of a crowd on either. But before they had the free weight stations, the Smith machines were always crowded. So sometimes we had to use the Nautilus equipment because if not, we would be waiting an hour, maybe 2 hours or longer for the Smith machines, especially when you had like a group of like six dudes all using the same shit. Like, X XG girl says hi from Santa Cruz. What's up? Carlin says I use both free weight and machine weights. Yeah, like I'm like I know the purists have to have the free weights. I was like I don't really care. I'm not a so-called purist. Like you can tell when I go to the gym, I'm not a purist. I wear weight gloves. Like I have my weight gloves. Um, if I'm squatting heavy, I use the I use the uh the barbell pad. So I'm doing all the I'm basically making all the lifter faux pas that people don't like. I'm using I'm using a barbell pad. I'm using the weight gloves. I don't really care. It seems the only thing that is accepted is to use the weight belt. And I think the weight belt is actually a bad idea because it gives you the illusion that you can do more and it's going to you're more in line to injure yourself using the weight belt. Because my friend wants to use it, but I think he already tries to overdo it when we lift. Like my thing is, if you need a it, it, if you need someone to help you, it, 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 if you need an assist, that means you're doing too much. But other people know they like the assist. I don't know. I guess it depends on preference. I think if I need an assist, I'm doing too much. But then I'm not pressed about trying to hit a new PR when it comes to weights. The only PRs I care about is when it comes to like running, like hitting a new PR when it comes to my running pace. That matters more to me. So Carter said someone wrote me the foreign language. Yeah, this dude is the Sankey okay guys clearly sounds like he's someone mental. Like he's trying too hard to sound smart, and then it's in a broken, and it's in another language, so it already comes out like broken English. That little rant he just did, but it's also like he's trying to sound smart, and it just when people try too hard to sound smart, it makes them sound really stupid. That's why I didn't even bother like repeating what he what he vomited out there. His little that little word salad he just spit out. It doesn't make a lick of sense. Miles Fispel says, "I like your little poster behind you." Thank you. It was given to me by YouTube. That's why I'm sitting in front of it intentionally. The thing above it is a Chinese calendar, Chinese horoscope calendar with some other like stuff. Carlin says machines are generally safer. Yeah, like I said, I prefer the machines because again, when I lift, I'm not trying to hit a PR. Like I do try to lift for strength instead of just muscular endurance because the way I did used to lift, I used to just lift for muscular endurance. But I realized there's no point to that. If I'm going to just do if I'm just going to exercise for muscular endurance, I might as well just do calisthenics because that's best for achieving is muscular endurance. But if I'm going to lift, I should lift for strength, which means no more than if I can do more than 10 reps easily, then I'm lifting too light. But at the same time, again, I'm not trying to hit new PRs at the sake of possibly injuring myself, which is going to hurt me the day after when it comes to me trying to do my other stuff, my martial arts and my running. So Carl says the only PR is being able to get out of the bed. Right. No, the, the PR I care about is never mind. I ain't gonna. I forgot I was on YouTube here. I was about to say something, but yeah, I'll just say I care about the PR when it comes to to either fighting or the other thing, fighting or yeah. Those are the PRs I care about. Carl says, "Do you use the elliptical machine?" I don't think I've ever used an elliptical. Yeah, I don't think I ever because if I do cardio if I do cardio at the gym, it's always been on a treadmill or or one of the exercise cycles. I've never used elliptical, never used the what do you call it the end step the end climber the, the little stepping thing. I've never done that. Like I prefer like something more aggressive. So I prefer the treadmill or I've used the exercise cycle and I haven't even used the exercise cycle in probably a few decades. I would usually just hit the treadmill. And I'm not knocking people who use the elliptical by the way. I'm just saying I've never actually had an interest in using it. The one cardio machine I did have interest in using that I never got to use was the Nordy track. Remember the old school Nordy track where it's supposed to replicate like cross country skiing. I wanted one of those long time ago. That seemed cool, but I've never seen those at the gym. So I'm so that's not something I got to try, but I would try that over the elliptical or the exocycle or the row machine. Row machine I've done as well, but for me that does to me that it doesn't feel like cardio just because you, it seems like you get more of a upper body workout, and I don't uh associate upper body with cardio. I associate lower body with cardio, but mm, uh Carlos says I've been using elliptical machines lately to take pressure off my knee. I'll get back to running next week. Well, no. Yeah, that makes sense. Like if you have um if you have a leg or knee injury, then yeah, I would use something that puts less pressure on your knees, other than the treadmill, because the treadmill is going to be a lot of jolting, uh, like you push, you're absorbing a lot of force on that treadmill, unless it was like those what do you call it? I think this was also made by the Nordy track people as well, but there was like a treadmill that was curved in an elliptical way, but not an elliptical machine, but it was I forgot what you call it, but that seemed cool. I think that takes some of the stress off your knees as well. Carl says I went to the doctor today, and the lady was surprised my breast heart rate was 468 beats per minute. Man, when I go to the when I get physicals, they never even compliment me on my health, despite my age. The only thing they do tell me is, "Oh, your blood pressure's a little high." Yeah, I know. I need to sleep more and I need to drink more water and consume less high sodium foods. I'm aware. But they never compliment me on the fact that despite that, I'm rather healthy. This well, aside from the elevated blood pressure. It's like a black grandparent. They don't they only tell you about something when it's wrong. They don't compliment you on anything that's right. No, I'm sorry, that's just my grandmother. I'm projecting. That's my grandmother, not everyone's grandmother. Because my other grandmother wasn't like that. um, may she rest in peace. She was always positive with me for the most part, except when I was, except when my father and I were clashing heads. Pause. But anyway, yeah. Actually, no, that's not true. I've gotten a physical and I got compliments before, but that was in college. I remember I had a physical in college, and the doctor was like, she was like, your physical was excellent. She was like, she was like, look, you got no cholesterol except for the good cholesterol. Your blood pressure is good. Your everything, like you're fine. She's like, she's like, God, you're too goddamn healthy. She's like, go eat a burger or something. And again, this was hilarious because 2 days before I did the physical, I literally pigged out on the dollar menu. Rest in peace to the dollar menu. They need to bring that shit back too. Like I had again, like I had like seven seven burgers, like four McChickens, uh like three of the 5 piece or 4 piece meals, chicken McNuggets, like three of the small fries. And I ate it all in one sitting just to see if I could do it. I just ate that much food just to see if I could do it. And surprisingly, I just knew my physical was gonna be like, yo, what the hell? And it still came out perfect despite me completely pigging out on McDonald's like 2 days prior. Maybe it took 2 days. After that 2 days, everything was like flushed out the system. So, I don't know. But yeah, I'm thinking of I need to start going to the gym more solo because I usually wait for my friend to be my battle buddy at the gym, but it's inconsistent when he goes. And for the past several weeks, almost months now, usually every time we go now, it's on leg day. So I miss chest day and back day. So I'm just stuck doing calisthenics at home. I'm like, yeah, I need to start going on my own and just go solo and just do my own training. But we usually do his whatever thing he's doing. Except I don't do his to a T. Like I'm not like I know it's kind of trendy now to work out with your shoes off, but I'm not getting into that. I just don't find it safe. I don't think the risk of slipping is worth the extra benefit of supposedly lifting with your shoes off and utilizing those stabilizer muscles. I don't think it's worth the effort. Um, with the higher chance of slipping and risking an injury. And I really don't think it's a proven method that has any serious benefits. I think it's just a lifter type thing. Yeah, bro, you got to lift with your shoes off, make more use of your muscles and stabilize the muscles, but whatever. Stupid. um, that and like I said, I don't want to keep going on leg day because leg day is the most boring day. Like, plus I don't lift heavy with deadlifts because I realize because I work out every day, my lower back is already pretty like my lower back will be kind of tender if I try to deadlift heavy. So I don't even deadlift heavy. Like I just I deadlift with light weights and just do a lot of reps. I'll do like about 15 reps with just the bar itself instead of like loading it with weights because I kept wondering why every leg day I had a sore back. And then I looked it up, and it was, and from what I looked up, it said, well, because of my current morning routine, I'm already overtaxing my lower back. So if I then add to it, deadlifts and Romanian deadlifts, then I'm just doing too much. So I'm like, all right, so I'm just gonna just use the bar when it comes to deadlifts. And for the Romanian deadlifts, I just use some really light kettlebells, no more than 10 pounds. And again, I just go for reps instead of weight. But what I do is I squeeze the rep out at the bottom, like I hold for a little stretch, and then come back up on the Romanian deadlifts. And I think that gives me a better workout than just trying to load it with weights. Carl says, What was your favorite dollar menu item? The spicy McChicken was fire. Um, Favorite. I mean, everything was fire on the dollar menu. We had it so good. We had it so good with the dollar menu, man. Uh, uh, I'm gonna say the McChicken or the spicy McChicken, whichever, because the I think the McChicken gives you more protein than the single burger. So I guess if you get a cheeseburger as opposed to just a regular hamburger, it might hit the mark for some folks. But I'm gonna say the McChicken usually would be my thing. If there was if I had to choose only one item from the dollar menu, it was the McChicken. Oh wait, what? Yeah, the McChicken. So I was thinking like, what about the Sunday? Um, but no, the McChicken. Harness says I never work out with my shoes off. You drop a weight on your feet, it's over. Exactly. Like I don't like to me the risk in the risk with injuring yourself to me is not worth the alleged benefits of working out without shoes. I just like I really don't see what is the trade off. Plus, like I don't need it. I feel more comfortable having that support with my feet. So I don't know. I just think I just see it as a fitness as like a lifting trend, fad or whatever. Hardest I used to hate leg day until I found the exercises I like. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I like doing back squats. Pause. um, but deadlifts, what I actually did used to like deadlifts, but like I said, with because of my morning routine, my lower back is already thoroughly exercised every day. So just lifting heavy with deadlifts is just going to overtax my lower back, which is causes me to be sore for the next few days. So I just stopped doing it. Like I haven't stopped doing deadlifts, but I just lift with the bar itself. I'm not going to load the bar up, or I'll just use kettlebells for my deadlifts or my Romanian deadlifts. But yeah, it's not that I dislike leg day. It's just it got boring because when you're just doing the same shit every time you hit the gym, it becomes monotonous. On top of that, if there's gonna be a muscle group that that I only hit um, you know, every time I go to the gym, I prefer it to be chest. Like chest and arms, like because we'll have a chest and arms day, a back day, and then a leg day. And so it's like, well, if I'm only going to make it to the gym once that week, I prefer it to be chest and arms day, not leg day. Because for me, every day is leg day because I run every day. So every day for me is already leg day. So if I'm going to hit the gym only once, I prefer to be chest and arms. Uh, i.e., A358 says just posterior chain being tight. No, yeah, so I thought it was that too, but again, well, you don't know my morning routine, so every day I get up around 4:30, and by by 5 o'clock, I'm out running at least 7 miles a day, at least seven every day. And then right after I do that, I stretch, and then I go out and shadow box for like a half an hour. Then I come in and stretch again. That's my morning routine. So you're looking at a 2 hour routine, roughly. So after I do that, like I'm pretty, I'm pretty thrashed by that time. And so when I looked it up, it was saying, well, looking at your workout already, like you are already like putting a lot of load, like you're already doing a lot of load bearing exercises on your lower back. So when you go out and do the deadlifts for that day, that's you're gonna overtax your body. So just lift light. So the response. I was looking this up through AI or whatever. So it was saying, I should either just lift that light, lift deadlift light, or just avoid exercise. So I just decided to do it light, and it's fine. I don't have a sore back the next day anymore. And like I said, my friend, he lifts differently. Like he lifts heavy because he's trying to. I mean, he's trying to hit a PR when he works out. Plus, his for him, weights is his main exercise during the week. It's not for me. So I don't feel the need to try to hit a PR with my deadlifts. I can just be comfortable lifting you know the bar by itself. B dash ID6 HXS. What do you think about today's political climate? Can you be a little bit more specific? Because I've already tackled so many issues with current topics, current events over the past few days. You gotta be a little bit more specific than that. I'm I, I, I'm not I'm not trying to be mean, but a pet peeve to me. One of my biggest pet peeves are vague questions. I like specific questions, then I can give specific answers, but I really dislike vague questions. IEA 358 says squats are by far the most beneficial out of any movement, in my opinion. Yeah, I think they're quite beneficial as far as lower body strength exercises. Um, and I get a lot out of it as a runner. it, I get a lot of benefit out of um, doing squats, but I don't get that much benefit out of deadlifting. And then I see there's a lot of folks who don't deadlift, like my friend who's an Olympic lifter. He avoids deadlifting, and a lot of bodybuilders also avoid it as well. So it's one of those it's like one of those macho exercises that casual lifters do, but can be easily replaced with a different sort of exercise. So um, plus, uh, I wouldn't mind deadlifting with heavier weights if they had a deadlift bar. The kind where if you know I don't know what you call it, but you lift, like you pick it up and you're in the middle of the bar because it has the little part cut out in the middle of the bar for people, and you just lift it. I don't know what you call it, but it's probably a specific name for it, or maybe it's just called the deadlift bar. I don't know. But if there was a deadlift bar at the gym, then I wouldn't mind putting a little bit more weight on it, because that's less burden on you, like getting the bar um, up in the first place when you just have to lift straight up and straight down. So Carden says, yeah, squats are undefeated. LOL. Yeah, I mean, they're good exercise. Like I said, I just get bored with leg day because again, if I'm only going to hit the gym once once that week, I prefer it to be chest day. And then if I hit it twice that week, then we can do leg day. Because then it will be like you do chest and arms on one day, then you do legs on the other day if you're going to do only 2 days a week. But uh, optimally, it would be 3 days a week. Like I said, chest and arms, like on Monday, uh, back on Wednesday, and legs on Friday or Saturday. So, but it rarely works out that way because he no longer lives near me, so he often will do his upper body workout at a gym closer to where he lives, and I would just do calisthenics instead. So, Carlos is running at the leg day is brutal. Yeah, and that's another thing. He always likes to end every workout on the treadmill, and that should be killing me. I was like, I'll do it, but I really don't want to. Like most of the time, I really don't want to run after. And I think most people do it wrong, especially for folks like him who are trying to lose weight. I think it'd be more beneficial to run before you lift, not after you lift. But almost everyone I know likes to run after they lift, and and then they wonder why their cardio is shit. I mean, I guess, but this is why I'm glad I have my morning routine because I'd be mad if I had to if I had to depend on my cardio coming from going to the gym because one, I hate treadmills. They're so dreadfully boring. It's like I just feel like a hamster on a wheel, not going anywhere. Um, I prefer road runs. Even during the blizzards, I was I was outside every day, literally every day during all the snowstorms this year and the previous years. It was matter of fact, in the past 13 years, it was only 1 week where I didn't go out when it was snowing in the past 13 years. So, um, but yeah, running after leg day is brutal. But he'll do it, or I'll do it. But sometimes he'll be too tired. I'm like, of course you did. Like, if you were just like, like I say, he lifts heavy. I don't lift heavy like he does. When you lift heavy like he does, like literally every bar in the free weight machine is on there, plus some borrowed ones from the other free weight machines with the squats and with the deadlifts. You do Romanian deadlifts, then you do like the little then you do calf raises. At least he knows now not to do calf raises without weights. And I was telling him for years about that. I was telling him for years, like you don't need weights for calf raises because the calf muscle is so dense that it doesn't really respond to weights. It's better off to just use just use a lot of reps and then um, squeeze each rep, like hold it, hold the stretch with each rep. That's more beneficial for calf raises than trying to do it with muscle. I mean, with weights, because a lot of people try to lift, try to do these heavyweight calf raises, and the calf muscle is such a dense muscle group that it doesn't really respond to that much. Like my calves are pretty nice when and I only noticed that because I didn't even notice it myself until like some kids saw me running. They was like, dang, yo, look at them calves. I was like, thank you. The funny thing is, you always get compliments from a dude before you get compliments from a girl. I've never. Well, that's not true. I was about to say I never got compliments from a girl. I have got compliments from a girl before. I remember when I came back. I remember when I came back from basic training in the army, and I started messing with this girl at work. She was like half black, half Filipina. And we were just talking, we were just vibing on on the phone. And she was like, I would love to just take take a picture of your chest and put it on my wall. I'm like, what? I was like, okay, thank you. That was a rare like you, I, I'm not used to getting receiving compliments like that, so that took me completely by surprise. But yeah, besides that, it's usually dudes that will like compliment you. I remember 2 years ago coming back from the gym, I'm in a tank top, and so we hit Giants to get some food, and this dude was like, "Yo, you look swole," and I thought he was I thought he was just trying to be funny at first because I was telling my boy, I was like, "What kind of shit he on?" He's like, "Nah." He's like, "Dude, he just." I was like, "Dude, he just give me a compliment." I was like, "Oh, my bad." I said, "I guess I'm just too cynical." He's like, "Yeah, you are." But yeah, the dude was like, "Yo, you look swole." Now I forgot the fact that I was in the tank top and we had literally just left the gym. But yeah, you'll often get compliments from a dude coming from the gym more than guys. But anyway, all that was to say, like, I have decent calves, and it hasn't come from like muscles. From weight training. It came from just running. Even my mom told me was, she's like, oh, because she's like, I don't ever see you in short. She's like, I don't ever see you in shorts except when you run. She was like, oh, you don't have any bird. She's like, you don't have bird legs. I started laughing. I was like, no, I guess not. That's why every running is a form of leg day. That's why I say that's why I used to always say hashtag every day is leg day on my social media posts, because it is like running will give you nice legs. IA says, do you work core strength a lot? If you put in a lot of work, your body can compensate a lot for a weak core. I mean, I get what you're saying, but again, that's not going to replace that. Like, you got to understand my morning routine is daily. So me lifting heavy with deadlifts is not in the cards. Every time I've done it, I've had a sore back. And yes, you could say my back is tight. Well, of course my back is tight because again, when when you when you're when you do long slow runs every morning or evening, whichever, and you you're doing like 30 minutes of martial arts, and I'm someone who likes to kick. um, you're already giving your lower back a full workout. So if you're gonna lift heavy doing lower back exercises, you're overtaxing your back. That's what I'm telling you. It's not an age thing. It's not a weak core. I have abs. um, it, it's look. It's just like I said. It's just over exercise. That's all it is. That's why when I do deadlifts, I just use the bar itself. I don't add extra weight to it anymore like I used to. Because too many too many times like I was trying to mimic my friend, but he's beyond me i- when it comes to just raw strength. And I give him that. Like he can like his leg press is on point. His squat is on point. His deadlifts are on point. For me, I'm not only is it for me over exercising to then try to lift to try to squat too heavy or deadlift too heavy, but also it's not worth the possible injury because he's not getting up the next morning to go run. I am. So I have to be mindful of my limitations. Like it's no the the short-term benefits of of getting a good lift versus paying for it the next morning isn't worth it. So IEA says for sure, no doubt, Carlton. IEA says there's really no reason to deadlift unless you are a power lifter competing for it. Honestly, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't like I used to do deadlifts a lot, especially when I was younger. But then I wasn't the runner that I was back then. And like I said, you can supplement deadlifts with other lower back exercises. It's like I said, I don't find it to be necessary. And like I said, my friend who's an Olympic lifter, he doesn't really do them because he said it interferes with his other targeted exercises that he does. And I know a lot of bodybuilders as well avoid them as well. So if it's not something that you need in your routine, like you can skip it. A lot of people want to do them because that's seen as one of those. The deadlift is considered one of those marquee masculine exercises. You have the bench press, you have the squat, and then you have the deadlift. But between those three, like you, I think you can eschew the deadlift because you're already working all of those. Maybe not to the degree as the deadlift, but you're already working all of those muscles with the squats already. So if you're already squatting heavy, then I don't see the point in deadlifting because we would go directly from squats to deadlifts to Romanian deadlifts to calf raises and which we would do as a superset with the I don't know what you call it, but it's like a shin exercise where you like flex your shin muscles. I don't know what you call that exercise, but we would do that. And then he used to do core. I don't see him. He don't really do core as much as anymore because we used to like after we would finish that we would do core and then we would hit the treadmill. But I haven't seen him really do core like that. So I don't know. And usually core was just like doing like knee raises or whatever. But sometimes instead of knee raises, if the machine if someone already has the machine, then we'll do inverted sit-ups. Because people have to be careful with deadlifting. Things can go left real fast. Oh yeah, I know. My again, the same friend who's the Olympic lifter. He's the guy who, my friend Marcus, who's the one who told me to start doing YouTube in the first place. He's shown me a bunch of exercises with people passing out doing deadlifts, and I had never known this was happening. And I was asking him, I was like, "What's going on? Why are all these people passing out?" He was like, "Because they hold their breath during the lift." And I'm like, "Well, why are they holding their breath?" He was like, I don't I forgot what he said. Like some people are doing it because they forget they gotta breathe, like they gotta exhale with the exercise, and they end up passing out or whatever. I'm like, that's just dumb. I was like, I would have never thought of like trying to hold my breath, especially if you lifting heavy anyway. Shouldn't you want to exhale because that's giving you the power to bring up the weight? I don't know. But yeah, things can go left definitely very quickly with deadlifts. I've seen the videos. They are fucking hilarious. At the same time, I'm thinking these people are dumb. Like, wow, like exhale, nigga. Like, I'm sorry. Uh IA says I feel like cardio before lifting takes a lot away from hypertrophy if hypertrophy is your goal in the first place. Yeah, that's true. So I mean, it's all that's the thing though. It's always if you do both if you do both in one session, there's always going to be a sacrifice. That's why technically I don't think you should do them in one session. Like if you're gonna do cardios the same day as lifting, don't do them in the same session. Like either do cardio either earlier during the day and then do your lifting at the end of the day, or vice versa. Do your lifting at the beginning of the day and then do your cardio at the end of the day. But when you try to combine them in one session, there's always going to be a sacrifice. Like if you do your cardio in the same session as your lifting, then you're not gonna you're gonna be a little you're gonna be exhausted, right? Because you're not gonna be able to lift as heavy because you're already exhausted from doing the cardio. Uh, Vice now, conversely, if you do your cardio after you lift it, you're you're not gonna have any stamina. So I did, but I get not everyone has the time to have to do a split workout throughout the day where you know, so they try to get it in all in one session. I mean, get it, it's better than nothing, but if you actually do want to develop your VO2 max, your cardio, it's not gonna work if you're doing it after your lift. However, if you're if 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 gaining mass, hypertrophy is your goal, then of course, yeah, running or doing other forms of cardio before you're lifting is going to sacrifice that as well. So it depends on how much time you got during the day and what you value more. Do you value more uh getting jacked, or do you value having that stamina? I value having the stamina because I'm a combat athlete. So I value the stamina over strength. So, but I would prefer not to do them all. I would prefer not to do my cardio and strength training in one session because when you do both in one session, you're one of them is going to be shitty. You're not going to do both of them well. Either you're going to do cardio well or you're going to do lifting well, but you're not going to do both well in the same session. So, but um, and then another thing I'm mad at about Planet Fitness is that all the little rumors that they used to give out pizza. I never seen this damn pizza. And then they was like, well, it's not really pizza. It's like the pizza bagel bites or something. I didn't see that either. I do believe that they genuinely did give out pizza at one point, but I'm pretty sure that was before the pandemic. Unfortunately, I didn't join the gym until the pandemic. Like until then, again, all my working out was at home, running, running, my shadow kickboxing, and my calisthenics, which still makes up the bulk of my workouts today, but I supplement it with hitting the gym as well as occasionally, getting to an MMA or a Muay Thai gym as well, which I don't do enough of as well because that's why my sparring is trash because I don't spar enough. It's a lot of stuff like my sparring is trash because I don't spar enough. My shooting accuracy is trash because I don't go to the range enough. And so I have considered maybe buying something here and just doing dry fire runs around the house. Of course, I have to do that when people aren't around because I don't want them to think I'm trying to shoot them or something. But yeah, um, I think using a dry fire kit is an excellent way of of like training with your weapon if you can't hit the range every week. Because most people can't hit the range every week. Besides, even if they could, it's expensive as well. Ammo is expensive. Like just being the range itself is a f- you know is a isn't that expensive. But then when you incorporate the cost of ammo as well, that's expensive. And then you look at the additive effect of both the cost of the range, gas money getting to the range, and that ammo. And then if you want to try out other weapons that they have available there, like that stuff adds up. To do that once a week, that's gonna cost a grip. Like that that could be stripper money. I'm joking. I don't do, I don't trick out on strippers. I'm just joking with that. But that is a lot of dough though. You know, um, how do we get? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how this live turns into a gym conversation, but that's fine. This is fun. You know, having like a lighthearted conversation. But yeah, I literally hope that Planet Fitness did have pizza when I went there, and they never had a pizza. You know what they did have though, and now they don't even have that. They used to have candy. Um, they used to have the little the little chewy candies. They the Tootsie Roll candies, but it wasn't just the chocolate Tootsie Rolls. They also had the the fruit Tootsie Roll candies. Like you could get either the chocolate Tootsie Rolls, which I hate, or they had like vanilla or uh, was it cherry or lime or whatever. So it used to be a big bowl of the Tootsie Roll candies. They don't even have that anymore. And I used to grab a few every time I left out the gym because I was like, why not? I was like, I deserve it. I worked out, and it was like plus I ran. I was like, I deserve this. That's why I was like, man, where's the pizza though? And like I said, I'm surprised that Planet Fitness didn't institute like some sort of like fitness bar at the gym because other gyms have fitness bars. Like they should have a fitness bar and make more money. Surprise. Maybe I suggest it to them. But yeah, they get because I mean they already have like the little spa inside the Planet Fitness, with the the back massager chairs and all that. Or I think one of them. Wait, is one of them I think a chair? Then one of them is you actually lie down and it rolls around on your back. I mean the little machine thing. But yeah, that was relaxing. Like if you have a uh, the black card membership, that you have access to the little spa, the little built-in spa machines. So I've done that. And that was quite comfortable after the workout. But with that, I was like, why not have a fitness bar? Like they are. I mean, they already sell snacks. They sell like protein snacks and protein drinks and energy drinks, stuff like that. Why not just have a whole fitness bar like used to see at some gyms back in the day? See something. Check my chat filter. Uh, well, anyway, look like I um lost my chat. So I'm gonna dip, guys. But I mean, we can talk more about this stuff later. Gym stuff, fitness stuff, best exercises for for either different muscle groups or for specific sports specific activities, whether running, martial arts, swimming, uh, baseball, basketball, football, gymnastics, racquetball, tennis, lacrosse, whatever. But I think that's gonna be it for me, guys. unless unless some of you, like, I'll give it a minute because maybe someone's writing something. Get some water though. Better. But yeah, uh, guess I'm gonna call it an evening here. Um, Tomorrow I might have a topic. We'll see. I'm actually I'm probably gonna, well, we'll see. I might be busy tomorrow evening, so may not do a live stream tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, so yeah, I'm supposed to have something to do tomorrow. So I'm not planning on the live stream, but if I do a live stream, it's going to be another ask me anything format because I don't have anything particularly planned unless something happens on the news that becomes a current event to discuss. Like Megan Thee Stallion getting cheated on. City boys, we up. I'm, that's it, guys. I'm out. Peace.